We are Sorted, a group of mates from London exploring the newest and best in the world of food whilst trying to have a few laughs along the way. We've got chefs, we've got normals, and a whole world of stuff for you to explore, but everything we do starts with you. Hello everyone, he's Ben, I'm Mike.
And last year I did something really interesting, so I thought in true geek fashion I'd bring it to the studio today.
Why am I nervous?
I feels weird.
Nearly touched everything with this. Put it back in there.
4 weeks ago, Baz, James, Jamie and Mike took a DNA test to better understand their genes and how their bodies are programmed to handle the food they consume.
Jay, we have your genetic results back and we have created you the most personal dish that will metaphorically allow us to talk about those said results.
I feel really nervous because somehow at the moment you three know more about me than I do.
Lift the cloth, James.
You excited?
Yeah.
Within every cell of our bodies is DNA, and DNA is made up of various genes, a bunch of predetermined instructions that our body uses to function. Everything from development, reproduction, growth, and countless bodily processes. All humans share over 99% of the same genes, and yet it's the tiny different variants and the order or sequence of the 1% that makes each of us unique. Nutrigenics is the study of how our individual genetic variations, which we can't change, affect our personal response to diet and nutrient intake. It is only one element of the many complex interactions between our genes and our environment, but understanding more about the rules and codes that are predetermined by your genes can help better inform you in your dietary choices. Think of it like a car. It will leave the production line with a predetermined specification and level of engineering. The nuts, bolts, wheels and engine are set. How you choose to drive it, where, for how long, how frequently and which fuel and or oil will determine its performance and the condition of the car in a year, 5 years and 50 years from now. Personalised nutrition could be similar.
Okay, so result number one, we're going to focus on detoxification. Now, Jamie is a man who loves his beef. He also loves Spain.
However, his genotype suggests that he should reduce or limit the amount of char grilling and roasting and smoking in his diet, but he can kind of compensate that with more cruciferous.
I've got a funny feeling this is going to shock Jamie slightly because before beef and Spain, at the top of the list, I'd have said barbecue.
So avoiding direct cooking methods like frying and grilling and smoking and roasting, we're going to stew off a gorgeous shin of beef with the vegetables, some tomato and half sherry, half water. Oh, that was a bit wet.
Oh,
it's getting
worse.
Yeah.
There we go. Thyme, rosemary, bay. Allium is also important. So onions, leeks, garlic, loads of that. Jamie loves garlic, so we'll add some of those. Now, like with all these results, it's not good, bad, yes, no. It's not about cutting it out completely. It's just about maybe reducing the amount of char-grilled or smoked meats in his diet.
How comfortable are you about knowing this information about us?
No, I think it's interesting because you can't change your genetics, so you just try and understand and work with it, maybe.
Ben's known your tongue for a long time. He's just expanding his repertoire.
I could now.
No, just stop talking. No.
Result number 2, response to carbohydrate intake. None of these things are diagnostic. They're purely saying what your genetic makeup is, and all things equal, Jamie has a high response to carbohydrates. So it is advised that he reduces his refined carbs and instead uses complex carbs.
Which is very easy to do.
Brown rice, whole grains, legumes, pulses, less of the white rice, white pasta, white bread and sugar. So our more complex carb, brown rice, boiled off in beef stock to add more flavour. You could just crumble in beef stock, but this leads us on to result number 3.
Jamie's results showed that he has an above average sensitivity to salt, so we have to limit that a little bit. We're going to cook the brown rice in beef stock. We could use a beef stock cube, which is a little high in salt. We're going to make our own beef stock instead, which means we can choose how much salt goes into it ourselves. We've taken the bones from our beef short rib, put them into water, brought it up to the boil, rinsed it, put new water in, and then a load of herbs, veg, peppercorns, all the flavours. I've stolen some parsley from Ben. I'm just stealing all of Ben's ingredients, putting it in my dish. It's the same dish.
Yeah, collective. We're working together here, James.
We're working together.
This isn't a competition.
You've turned me into something horrible. I'm straining the stock into another pot, and then we're going to cook the rice in it.
Result number 4. He has a positive response to alcohol, so he metabolizes alcohol more slowly, so it has a positive effect on his good cholesterol, which means a glass of red wine for him is a good thing.
Yes, like all of us, like
Yep.
in moderation,
Yep.
he's a slow metabolizer, so it has a tendency to catch up with him. We know that because if we ever take him out for a drinking occasion, he's normally asleep by 9 o'clock. A couple of other things we're not really focusing on but are worth throwing into the mix anyway. He has one of the T variants of the gene that allows us to digest lactose, so he's good with lactose. And also he's bang in the middle when it comes to saturated fat and his ability to metabolise that. So we've gone for quite a fatty cut of beef, but we're also going to serve a hunk of manchego cheese on the side so that when he's finished his dish, he can finish his wine with the cheese, because Spain, isn't it?
I'll do, isn't it?
I'm touched that you trusted me with your DNA results. It is weird that I know more about the pair of you than you do.
Well,
Your insides, anyway.
well.
Release the pressure.
I'm scared. Can I do it like this? Oh wow! It's
Yeah, you've decorated.
over there. I don't think I've seen it go that far.
We're going to drain off our brown rice, season it with fresh parsley, lemon juice and a little bit of salt, but we're in control of that. We're going to reduce down the sauce for the beef and then serve it all together with some wilted cruciferous, also seasoned with garlic and lemon.
He means kale.
He loves this, doesn't he? We are finishing off our beef stew with raisins and pine nuts. Are you excited?
Yeah. Oh! Oh!
You still excited?
Yeah, because that looks like red meat, which I'm very happy about.
We have lovingly made you a Spanish beef rib stew with some delicious lemony herby brown rice and of course some kale, because we know you so well.
I'm encouraged, actually, because there's wine, which I enjoy red wine. There is cheese, which I enjoy cheese. There is beef rib, and as we know, I enjoy beef.
Mate, yeah, start.
That's some good beef, isn't it?
You're a fan of slow cooked beef.
I am a fan of slow cooked
That's a
beef.
good thing.
How would you usually cook, how would you cook your beef in an ideal world?
Low and slow in a smoker.
You may want to cut down on the amount that you smoke some of your meat.
Bacon?
One of the things came up was raised risk for detoxification. So it's advised that you reduce the amount of char-grilled and smoked foods.
Oh,
That doesn't mean that you can't poach, boil, stew and slow cook incredible joints of beef.
It's fine, you can poach your steak.
poached steak. I had an inkling that I might not be carb friendly because I enjoyed the carbs and I feel like they have the negative effect on me. Particularly around this area here.
So advised to have more complex carbs, brown rice, whole grains, legumes, as opposed to refined carbs, sugar, white rice, white pasta, white bread.
Which is what you were expecting.
Yeah, because I definitely noticed improvements in the last few months where I've been eating less carbs, and to now know that there could be potentially a reason in my makeup as to why that is, I think that's pretty cool. It's not going to stop me from buying bacon, for instance, or eating bacon, but will it make a difference in terms of do I go for the red packet of bacon that's been smoked or the blue packet that hasn't been smoked?
How much of diet though and the experience of eating down to pleasure?
I've learned a lot of stuff about my body that I didn't know 10 minutes ago, which I think is really interesting. And if there are little tweaks that I can make moving forward, then maybe it'll make me feel better, maybe I'll lose weight, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll live a better life because of it.
Isn't it interesting, like, as a species, we have lived for millennia, and this option of understanding this nutrigenics has only come about in the last handful of years. It is changing, it's fascinating. I guess our question is, like, do you guys care? Would you be interested in knowing, do you know yours? Would you care if you did know yours? Would you change your life because of it? Comment down below, talk to us.
Do you have the same DNA as me? And what changes have you made that you suggest that I make that means I still get to eat steak?
You sound so desperate.
We're really fascinated to hear what you think. Have you ever done a DNA test? Would you ever do a DNA test? Have you done one? Would it affect how you eat? Let us know. We're very intrigued about this subject, aren't we?
So intrigued that we have made it one of our podcast chat topics because there's just so much to talk about. And if you are a club member, then you can get access to that, and it is an episode coming to you very, very soon.
We have no dads, but we both have dad bods. And Ebbers has a joke.
I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon the other day. I'll let you know.
Like that. I do like that. As we mentioned, we don't just make top quality YouTube videos. No. We've built the Sorted Club, where we use the best things we've learned to create stuff that's hopefully interesting and useful to other food lovers. Check it out if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a few days.
I made some fish tacos yesterday, but they just ignored them and swam off.
What?